It's going to be a double feature of sponsored videos this week, and that's a first. But I get why. There's some promotional events coming up on Steam, several games are planning their releases in this time period, and today I want to thank Swarm Creations for reaching out and sponsoring this video on Retooled, a resource-based FPS that at times borders on a little bit of bullet hell. Check out the link in the video description if you want to give Retooled a try after watching. It just came out on Steam and is currently being featured on the Steam Shmup Fest happening from September 25th to October 2nd. I was fortunate enough to be able to talk directly with the team on this one, which isn't always the case in these sponsored videos. So it's been really nice to be able to address initial concerns immediately and see the game get better before my very eyes with updates. That's been one of the best parts of taking these sponsored videos. I feel like I get to make a difference because it often leads to me giving direct feedback to the people making the games. And after some adjustments that I got to see implemented after a great talk with the director, I think Retooled is sitting in a very nice place for launch. At first it appears to be a very simple game. The opening levels just have drones flying around, you've got 2 weapons, and the art style is quite basic. You couldn't be blamed for not looking twice when coming upon it scrolling through titles. But the more I played Retooled, the more I saw what the director is going for. The vision starts to come through, and I started having a really good time. Retooled is an arena shooter. You have a single dash, but that dash takes a couple seconds to reload, and you can jump onto small surfaces to continue to jump upwards or away. Instead of a vaulting system, you just keep bouncing as you get vertical. There are jump pads scattered around, some of them on a cooldown after you use them. Teleport zones provide escape from the chaos, and there's time trials to test your platforming skills, which is great because mastering this kind of movement definitely helps you survive in combat. The base movement speed is slow, but you can holster your weapons to move faster, which can be helpful in moments of emergency. And your main way of moving about is a unique way of bunny hopping that just has you holding the jump button, so really you're bouncing around the arena. Moving around like that is pretty important because it causes your energy to recharge faster. See, there are weapons in Retooled like the plasma rifle and the railgun that use energy for ammo, and that energy regenerates over time. Staying mobile, especially through bunny hops, regenerates that energy quicker. Firing the minigun also recharges energy. So right away we've got a pretty cool new system this game is built on, tying fast movement and weapon variety to a much needed resource. I like it. The minigun is infinite ammo, and you'll be using it a lot to balance your energy use. Shielded enemies take extra damage from plasma shots, so if you're spamming plasma on everyone, you may come up to shield guys later and have to take them down slowly or wait for their shields to go away. And what I found is that as the game went on, combat encounters started getting intense enough to really make me feel the consequences of that bad decision to overuse plasma. The enemies are, as you can see, quite simple looking, but they are all quite different from each other as you're dealing with an armored charging guy, fast flying drones that fly away to hide, giant spheres that drain your life with tracking weapons, teleporting mini-bosses. Soon you'll start developing priority targets and recognizing foes that you fear. For me, the game picks up pretty quickly by level 2, finally getting a high damage source with the rocket launcher, something to take out a group. It holds 3 rockets and recharges over time, so it's something you switch to here and there for a quick shot while it recharges, or you dump it into something that needs to die now. One of the great changes seen after my talk with the director is the inclusion of rocket jumping. Not just because it's cool and greatly expands your mobility options in combat, but because of the cool decision making it involves. Since rockets slowly recharge, and you can only hold 3, using one for a rocket jump is not something you do mindlessly. You're using a valuable damage resource for a mobility option, and that's a cool thing to be thinking about. You eventually get the grenade, which recharges every 60 seconds, and this thing is really interesting. You can throw it to release a static charge that gives you an energy boost. It can even overcharge your energy bar to give you way more than normal. But you can actually shoot the grenade with plasma to overcharge it, causing a high damage explosion. It feels awesome to set one of these up just right and nuke everyone. The orb launcher sets down a large damaging zone that can be overcharged with a railgun shot, funneling enemies through a narrow zone while you shower them with rockets or something. And this orb launcher, maxing out at 2 rounds, is recharged by using your energy weapons. Every 900 points of energy used, you get an orb. The railgun has a cooldown, so you can get a quick 1-2 combo of railgun swap to rocket launcher and then switch back. There's a recharging shield you can put down to protect one side of you while you focus on certain enemies. There are so many cool systems working together in Retooled, so much to think about and actively be working towards. Honestly, I was really surprised by how well thought out all this is. And you remember how I said bunny hopping recharges your energy faster? Well, that's not the only part of this system. The rocket launcher increases the odds of enemies dropping shield points, and the railgun does the same for health points. Item drops are magnetized to you, so you don't have to go far out of your way to pick each one of them up. Another great change I got to see once the game got updated. And with how you can use different weapons to encourage different resource drops, and how the use of different weapons and your mobility works to recharge what you need, it all starts coming together. It's not just a shooter, it's one built on active resource management, like Deadlink, like Turbo Overkill, like Shadow Warrior 3, like Doom Eternal and its lovely clones. There are items scattered around the arena, life-saving resources, that's where you find the really big health and shield charges, but in the fight, you can be gathering shield and health actively while gaining ammo and energy passively, keeping both on your mind, timing them together. And when you're at the edge of death, you can get that last-second railgun kill on a drone, or a triple kill with a rocket launcher, and hopefully stay alive for a few more seconds. It's that exhilarating combat loop that so many of us have fallen in love with, and that's why I ultimately decided to talk about Retooled once I saw it get some updates. As soon as I found where the magic lies, I realized this was definitely something I like, and I appreciate its unique spin on the formula. There will be expansions to the game added later, and I'm hoping they add to the visual variety, because right now that's probably Retooled's biggest negative. The levels all look the same. I think the combat is fun enough to get past it, but I do hope we see some more level variety later. I hope you'll check out Retooled. It's got 3 difficulties, with normal being the recommended one, and hard for replays, as the game can be quite punishing, and you're gonna struggle if you don't know where the extra lives are. There are no checkpoints, just extra lives. Check for secrets so you can find more. If you lose all the lives, you restart the level, which puts a good amount of pressure on you, but the number of lives compared to intense combat moments is pretty fair. Thanks again to Swarm Creations for sponsoring this video. Retooled is currently only $15 on Steam, so give it a spin. I hope you'll see what I see.